Hello, today we're gonna have a really random work session. I'm not gonna introduce it that much. Can you see from my face that I'm exhausted? I'm exhausted. I have barely even worked on it today, but I've just been really exhausted. At the moment, I'm trying to just do anything that I can that will make this process easier. So, for example, instead of like typing out my notes into the notes thing, I'm like copy pasting my highlights. I don't know why I just didn't think to do that before. Um, I I actually asked ChatGPT for like I sent it a paper, another paper that had like a similar like section as me. So it was also using like STDP rules in like a CA1 to CA3 like section computational model. I don't know. So I just asked it if those rules were like applied well enough to my project, and I'm gonna show you guys everything, but I'm just at this moment, I'm just trying to do anything that I can to ease the process because it's almost the end of August. I start my master's degree program at the end of September. I definitely don't want to be working on this while I'm working on my master's degree program because I'm exhausted, like I'm burnt out legitimately, and I don't want to be doing like 10 things at once. I also do still have to work while I'm doing my master's degree program, so I'm not just going to be at school, like I'm going to be working too. And I'm so close to done really, but I just want to really like anything that I need to do right now to make it easier, I'm going to do it. But today we are basically I'm going to show you guys that, and then I'm going to also re-download um Nengo, which I had on my old computer. Nengo is the program essentially that I'm running all of this on. I want to make sure that it works because on my last laptop it had some kind of mess up where it wasn't running anything. So we're just gonna get everything set up again. I feel like I have this like little like weird little framework that I like run like that I see the world through essentially. And one of those things is that I don't know if it's not really like a framework, but it's just like these little rules of life that I've made to like navigate um I guess my executive dysfunction and stuff. Basically, I'm like if I have a vision in my head, I have to like anything that in my power that I can do to make the world look like that vision will like diminish the resistance for the other parts to come in. Does that like make sense? These are like my little like all these little ones I'm saying in the beginning of the videos now are like my little like universe rules. Like my these are my rules to life. I'm like, okay, whatever I can like use to create like a path of least resistance for the things that I want to come into my life is like better. So I'll just do everything in my control to make my life look how I want. I know that seems simple, but basically that's what we're doing today. If it's seeming like, it's taking a lot of resistance and like a lot of exhaustion to do some of the other parts, and I'll just like what needs to be done, like what do I need to do for this project to be done? If it me like I don't know, if for example if my project were gonna be done soon, I would already have Nangolohi downloaded onto my computer. So where is that? Let's do it. So here we go. So tired. I need to wash my hair too. I oiled it. Okay, basically my chat was getting slow, which happens when you've been talking to it too much. You can see it's not even like loading up right now. It's just been very slow. So I just asked it before I just explained my project to my new chat, and that was fine. But I feel like we discussed so many complex things in this chat. So I just asked, can you write a good summary of all the progress you've made of all the progress you've made and what we've spoken about for me to pass on to my next ChatGPT chat and start where we've left off since this one is running slow. Uh, I like that it's still like it's like now I like whipped it into shape. I was like I was like everything is now rigorous. Here's a rigorous but readable summary. It's like scared of me now. It like knows that everything has to be rigorous. So anyways, it just gave me like I didn't even read it. I'm too tired today to even make sense of the world, but it was kind of cool to see everything in a list like this. It's pretty interesting. I was like, oh, there's like actually quite a lot done. It gave me plasticity rules. I think these are based on the paper that I sent it, but what we're gonna do today is we're just gonna see like why did it choose these rules, or um how do I or are they appropriate? I want to learn what these rules mean. Like that's one of my big things. I think I'll do that today and just make it a list. I don't need to comprehend it today. I just need to put it down somewhere for myself. This is my experimental design that we already knew. Biological grounding. Okay, so whatever. You guys already know. This is all the stuff that we've already spoken about. I have like a lot. I just feel like I have so much still to do, which is really irritating. I was rereading the text that I had on acetylcholine today and learning, for example, about I kept glazing over this word, dentate gyrus. I need to on a day that I'm a little bit more alert. I think I just haven't been getting enough sleep the last few days because I keep going to bed late and then my cat wakes me up in the morning. I need to see if I want to include this. Like, do I want it to be just the CA1 to CA3, or do I want this piece? I might. But that's not the point right now. Let's get Nango Loihi downloaded. I'm gonna show you. It's actually like very easy. I do have to ask ChatGPT again though, because I don't remember all the codes and stuff. This is so annoying. Apparently this software is actually just on these neuromorphic chips that are on Intel, which is like a not a MacBook, which is what I have, but it includes a software emulator that runs here. What I could do, I need to figure out if I can somehow, for now, I'm gonna just practice and do everything on my MacBook. And I'm gonna see if maybe by like in the next few weeks I can figure out somewhere that I can use a computer with an Intel neuromorphic chip. How could I even do that? Soon, actually, maybe this might have to like that gives me some time. I'm gonna start my master's degree program in September. I don't have access right now to a computer with Nengolohi, but I'm sure my university has to have one, my master's degree program. Uh, would how would I? Oh my gosh. It's just, that's just added complications. This is starting to get like, ugh, I have to actually interact with real people. That's so embarrassing. I thought I was gonna get to do all this on my own. Okay. What it's saying is that I can still use the emulator for all of these things. The program can be still reproducible. And the criticism is that I can't make any Loihi specific claims, which I don't care to make. I don't care to say anything about Nengolohi. Okay. It's not as bad as I thought. I just want this to be like a real research paper. That's all I'm going for. You know what I mean? I don't want to just like I know that you can print stuff that's just like, oh, it's like a theory or something. I don't want that. Like I want like a real research paper that really seriously actually like tackles the thing that I'm trying to tackle. I'm so tired. I can't. Ugh. I need to just say that I use the emulator and that results are hardware agnostic proof of concept predictions. Okay, as long as I'm not saying anything about girl, I couldn't care less. Nengolohi is not my interest. I just want my project. I do not care. I will do it. Let's go. We're back. Let's download Nengolohi. I had such a panic. My God. I was like, I can't do this. How am I gonna do this? Okay. So then we can do this faster then. And I'll go back to completely burning myself out over this project again. I was nervous for a second that I would have to actually give myself time. No. Horrible burnout. Okay. Let's go. So, terminal. This is terminal. This is how you download things. I didn't know that. I never coded anything. We're manifesting it. We're saying it in the future. I have access in Nengolohi. In the future, I'll be an actual. Oh, yes. I don't know. So apparently it's going to take 95 hours. And oh, this is going down really quick. Oh, wait, I'm eating chicken and I'm watching The Accidental Husband. I currently don't have Netflix because I can't. I'm not going to, I don't, I can't spend the money on it. So all we have, my sister has Prime, so I've been watching stuff on Amazon Prime now. And then on this TV, I can watch free movies on YouTube. So I've been watching like the most random movies ever, like things you've never heard of before. I watched a Will Ferrell movie like a few days, like I don't know, maybe last week. I had never in my life. It was like a deep cut. I'd never heard of this movie. It wasn't even a comedy. It was about him being like an alcoholic. Never had I heard of that movie before. I watched like a Hallmark movie about Christmas yesterday. I'll just be watching anything now because I don't have like Netflix. This movie's got Uma Thurman in it, and basically this absolute creepy weirdo basically hacks into her thing because she's like a radio show host, and who basically, this is the whole thing, is that this man is a villain, truly a villain, because what he does is that basically his girlfriend, who he's been dating for 5 months, calls this woman's radio show, Uma Thurman's radio show, and is like, should I'm getting cold feet about getting married to my husband. I took your online compatibility test because her show was like a romance related, and it said we weren't compatible. And she was like, "How long have you been dating?" She said 5 months. And she said, "And you're getting married? That's a horrible idea." So the girl who already didn't want to marry him in the first place because she was calling the show basically calls off the wedding like a normal human. Like that seems normal. When she said 5 months, I was like, "Why are you getting married?" So he gets so mad at this woman that he basically has his little, like, I don't know, neighbor or something hack in to the government website and like and marries himself to her, knowing that she's about to get married in like I don't know, a few weeks or something. Weird behavior. I was like, what? And then he basically like she has to go to him to basically get the wedding annulled, but then he's like ruining her marriage and like basically like having her cheat and like break up with the, I don't know, it's really strange. And I'm looking at this man like we're supposed to think like root for him. He's weird. This is creepy. Why would you do that? Why would you marry yourself to a random person? She went up, she was like, "Oh, it seems we're married." That's weird. That's stalker behavior. That's why I was like, this is really strange. I don't know what's going on, but I don't have Netflix, so I can't watch anything else. Like, who does that? Now you're married. Like, what? Why would you marry? If anything, why would you marry yourself to her? And why wouldn't you just have her marry some random person? Like, what? It didn't make any sense. Now he's falling in love with her. But all I can think is that if he were willing to get married to that woman, the first woman, in 5 months, this man is a serial follower and lover. He'll just be falling in love with anybody in a second. So she shouldn't even. My gosh. I'm like, girl, you're too good for him. This guy is weird. He's so creepy too. I'm watching it now. He's so weird. I don't like his vibe in the movie either. And her husband, her real husband, is Colin Firth. Why would you ever leave Colin Firth for any reason? Okay, here we go. That thing I need to download it, I think. Um, so we're gonna keep going. I actually also watched A Beautiful Minds this morning, or I watched most of it, and it was good, but ironically, because of whatever it is I have, I used to get I went through a period, I mentioned in like another video, I used to get really paranoid that I was like had a mental health disorder. Like it was like this compulsion, and then I had to like I basically would like get super, I don't know, I just went through like this paranoia where I was like, "Oh my God." And so basically I was watching the movie, but it started to make me paranoid because I was like, what if I'm having this right now? And I was like, no, we're gonna stop. We're gonna stop. I started questioning my whole reality. I was like, what if nothing that I think is real? I just started to get too anxious. So, but I'm gonna finish it because it was good and I was really interested. But it made me feel better because I looked it up and they said apparently like I was like, how much of this is actually what he would like actually experienced. John Nash, who was like this mathematician. I looked it up and they said some of the stuff that they were putting in the movie wasn't like very accurate. Like for example, in the movie, oh, this was the moment that I was like, I have to stop right now because I'm getting too paranoid. Was when they said that his roommate, he'd had this roommate the whole movie, and then they said the roommate was fake all along and that he had been like hallucinating the roommate. I was like, I'm done. I'm done. Computer closed. We're good now. I was like, no way. No way. They started being like the wife was like, he's not fake. They're like, have you ever spoken? Have you ever met him? Are you sure he's real? I was like, what? But then I was like, I don't even think that this is honestly how schizophrenia works. It might be. Maybe someone has had that. I don't know. But I was like, that seems a little bit. I was like, that seems like a reach. That seems like a reach. I was like, I don't think that would happen to that degree. And I was right because that never happened, I think. This downloading Nango was such a mess. Um, I had to last time I downloaded it, like on my old laptop, it took a lot of this kind of back and forth. See, like you have to install all these other things, and it assumes that you have everything. Okay, so we have Python.
Now we have to download pip, whatever that is. Okay, if that works, I think that worked. Yes. So these are new things. I didn't have to do all this before. This is different than last time, so I'm confused. I don't know what these things mean. I don't know what these things mean. Should I add it to my path? Why is it so much harder than the first time around? The first time it was like easy peasy. This time, I don't know what's happening. Add it to your path. This has been such an adventure because I never thought I was gonna do STEM anything. So I'm like, this is really out of my comfort zone in like every possible way. I'm trying to exit and it's not letting, I can't even figure out how to exit. I'm actually happy because while I was doing my comparative literature degree, I was like, I shot myself in the foot. Not in the, okay, I still think it's like one of the most valuable things I ever did. But then all of a sudden, I was seeing all of my STEM friends like doing STEM stuff and like getting all these crazy job, like, what's the word? Job offers to like, also the way that STEM kids are treated is so much better. Like, humanities people, we are like fighting to the death for jobs, and then the STEM kids, like, they have these, we didn't even, I don't even think that we had humanities job fairs like that, but the STEM kids were constantly going to all these events, getting all these like, oh yeah, Google gave them all these little like gift bags and all these stuff, and I'm like, where's ours? Where's my comparative literature gift bag? So I was like, oh man, I'm not gonna make any money anymore. Like, now to make money you have to be in STEM. And then God heard my prayer, which I didn't even make intentionally, but God was like, yes, you will one day make money instead of being broke. I hope. Do I have PIP 3? Let's see. I don't even know what this is. I was speaking too soon. This needs to actually work. I hope this is actually like a real thing that's gonna happen. If that works, you can create. Okay, what does this even mean? Okay, I think we have it now. The thing about Ningolohi is that it actually doesn't have any kind of, you can't visualize really anything with it, meaning you can't actually see things. You can just put the code in. Do I have Ningo already? I don't. Okay, so I'm gonna install Ningo as well because in Ningo, like, me becoming a STEM person, I want my gift bags. Basically, Ningo actually has like a little, like, I'll show you guys. But Ningolohi is like all coding. But the reason that you actually like that I want Ningolohi is because I think that has the like the software basically to actually make it biologically accurate. Meanwhile, I don't think that Ningo does. I'm gonna confirm that, but I definitely know that that's the case. That it's Loihi is like neuromorphic, meaning that it's actually biologically realistic. So if you're gonna visualize something, the thing is like you can use Ningo, but then you also have to run it separately in Loihi if you want. I don't know. I'm too tired to think. Look at me. Yeah, I'm just coding. This is all me writing it right now, guys. Can you hear me? All typing? Like, I'm just a coding expert, actually. Yeah, I'm writing all this by hand. I wish. That would mean I'm making money. Now it's giving me a million warnings and things. Cool. My college roommate for my first year, actually, both of my roommates that I had in college were both doing like computer science stuff, which is insane. And their goal was honestly, first of all, they both worked incredibly hard. People who did like computer science, oh my god, they were working their everything off. Oh, look at, yeah, I'm a coding expert. I successfully installed everything. But I just be like, man, that seems crazy. They were just really working. The script blank blank is installed in something which is not on path. I don't know. I, I don't know what this means, but it says it installed everything, so we're good. Okay, so now let's open Ningo. This is so different from the first time. Did it change? Did Ningo change in the last few months? The first time I opened it was like maybe like March 2025, and now it's August. Did it change somehow? Because this is so completely different from what it asked me to do last time. Like, what is Jupyter Lab? I never had to open that. Oh, see, so it did change. Okay, well, it told me right there. I should have just read. This stupid path thing that keeps getting messed up. This is the thing that I was like, oh, it doesn't matter. It does matter. I gotta do everything all over again. Yeah, typing it all again. Oh, no. Oh, we're done. Yeah. I wrote it that quick. Now, let's check. My dad tried to get us to learn how to code when we were little, and we didn't. Isn't that so dumb? That's what I was gonna say when, well, it's not dumb. We were like little kids. I tried. Actually, we tried to learn Scratch. He had us learn Scratch, which is this little thing to like learn how to code when you're a kid. But we didn't like continue with it. If only somebody had told me when I was 9 that I was gonna want to make computer science money when I was older and not be like, I don't know. I wanted to be everything when I was a kid. I want to be like a chef, all this crazy stuff. Stop reading cookbooks and start learning computer science immediately. I need to do everything again. Why? This is going to end up being the whole video. I thought this was going to be easy because last time I literally did this before and it wasn't that hard. But now all of a sudden everything is messed up. So, okay, the movie was good. Okay, we're gonna go back. We're gonna go back to the John Nash movie. It was good. Okay, when I actually looked up what he looked like, it was kind of crazy because the actor literally did look just like him. It was weird. It was like, what? Okay, not just like it, but they he did a good job of like they did a good job of making his face look like the same face. Your virtual environment for your project. Did I do that? It was interesting how they like interwove some of the delusions that John Nash was having into the movie. And I was really because I couldn't tell for quite a while. I only started to pick up on that pretty early because I knew that that was going to happen because I'd heard about the movie before. So I was like, okay, I know that he's probably having some kind of delusion right now. But yeah, I need to finish it actually. It was a bit scary. I was just like, this is scary because I don't know. I was doing a lot of reflecting during it though. I wasn't scared of him. I was just like, it just seems so scary to experience schizophrenia. Like it seems really like discombobulating, I guess. And it just seems so like stressful because he was like really, really thinking that people were like after him and stuff. It was kind of interesting watching it though, knowing like having seen, for example, like I watched one video that was a schizophrenia like simulator on YouTube. Like it showed what it looked like to have the disorder. So it's pretty interesting to watch the movie, like almost having a visual of what it actually looked like for him because obviously when they make it in the movie they make it almost look like it's like a real thing that's happening, but I think I just got like a visual of like what it would have actually looked like in his head. So it was pretty interesting. I thought it was really sweet. Also, like the relationship he had with his wife. I want to hear like more or see more successful relationships of people who have mental health issues, like severe mental health issues, who have like lifelong partners and things like that. I don't know. I just think it's so special. I don't know. For me, I just think it's like personally, like it's like a sweet thing because I know myself how difficult that stuff can be. And like, I don't know. Obviously, I've not been successful. Like, I've never been in a relationship myself, but it's like, I don't know. I think there's a fear of that. I think for myself having like mental health issues sometimes, I don't know. I think it was like just reassuring to see him in like a lifelong relationship. I actually looked it up and they had a period of time where they like split up and then they got back together, like in real life, something like that. So it's interesting for me because I feel like I have such an intimate knowledge of myself and my own mind. I don't know how to put what I'm feeling into words, but I just mean like I think it's like I don't know. I just think it's cool. I think any situation, it's not even just mental health disorders, but I think any situation where somebody has some kind of disorder, disability, like obviously I think it takes just like that little bit of extra commitment to really commit to that person, not in a bad way but just in the way of like I think that's special. Like I actually think that's beautiful personally. Like I think that's like a really beautiful thing, and it's beautiful to imagine somebody really like putting in the work to understand, like for example in his situation it was obviously really severe. So I don't know, I just thought it was like you have to really understand somebody's mind, and I just thought it was beautiful personally. I think that people with severe mental health issues also deserve to have like long loving relationships too, and it's not that scary. This is the thing, is that I think like for me, I think I was just like I don't know, I was just doing a lot of reflecting in the movie. I was being like I actually got emotional because I was like I think it's I love, like I just feel like I've been falling in love with neuroscience so much, and just I'm so in love with how minds work and how finicky they are. Like I was watching the movie and just being like he has just something a little bit like some kind of chemical or something that's like going a little bit off, and it's literally shifting his entire sense of reality. And I just think it's so interesting just how like sensitive our realities are, or just how fragile our realities actually are. Like they're so dependent on everything going just right, and if something is not going just right, like it can have such interesting like manifestations in real life, which is just so interesting. And I think I think the more I learn about mental health disorders, the obviously the less I find them scary, and the more I just find them interesting, and just like I find it so interesting to know how other people's minds work. And I don't know. I just find it really beautiful. Like, it's not really that's the thing is I think the average person sees mental health disorders like that as really scary, and it doesn't mean for example, I was saying it's scary in the sense of, like, it looks scary to be him, like, it looks scary to experience that. I don't think that his disorder is scary at all, like, I actually was just really fascinated and just being like, "Oh, it's so interesting." For me personally, obviously, I'm trying to study this, so I just find it really cool, and I like hearing how people experience the world and, like, how there's not one way of experiencing the world, right? But I think a lot of people see those kinds of disorders as really scary because we don't like fully understand them sometimes. I think the average person doesn't see it that way. Like I think doesn't really have like the fullest depth of understanding about how these disorders work. And obviously in the past, like we've come such a long way in terms of how we see mental health disorders as a whole, but obviously in the past I think people didn't really have a good sense of how they operated and like that the fact that they were just oh there's like some chemicals that are getting a little bit thrown off or some kind of genetic function or something like that, and because of that obviously people were like what is going on right now, like what's happening, or it just seemed really erratic or scary and people didn't really know how to handle them. But I was really reflecting today on how mental health is just like health and we treat it like a different thing, but it really is like the same as any kind of other, I think, chronic illness. It's just that I don't really know quite how to put it into words, but I was like, it's just a health issue. Like it's really just the same as any type of other health issue, and we really make it out to be like much scarier than it actually is. And I think that obviously there people worry when it comes to mental health disorders because sometimes things can end up getting a little bit like they just take a little bit more like interpersonal navigation. So I think that's the thing that really sometimes makes people nervous. Like I don't know how to handle this, or maybe I could get hurt, or all this stuff. But I think that it's good for more people to know how mental health disorders work. And oh my gosh, we got it open. I think. Anyways, how mental health disorders work, because I'm just like they're literally it's just the same as any health issue. And I think having been through mental health disorder, actually I feel like I would have felt better about myself if sometimes like people treated my mental health disorders that I had as more of the health issue that it was. Like it's almost a medical issue. It's a health issue. It's not really like you know, it's not like my fault. It's not something wrong. It's not something I need to like, I don't know, meditate away or something. You know what I mean? It's just a health issue like any other issue. And we just see them as differently because I think we just don't have as much information. I've actually been working on somebody else too in my life who has been having me learn this. I've been helping them on a project, and yeah, I had to do a lot of reading, and it was really instructive actually for me. This is interesting. So this looks completely different than how it looked before. So that's fun. That's really fun. We're learning it all over again. Is this right? I used to feel like shame towards some of the symptoms that I had growing up, or particularly when I don't know, I just had a lot of different ups and downs with my mental health, and I used to feel ashamed, but I feel like I've been able to meet it with more humor as I've gone along, and find it interesting, find it kind of like funny sometimes, or just like silly. Like my brain can be so silly sometimes, or just like what, like I don't know. It's not really that, I don't know. I feel like the more I go along, the more I'm like, it's not really like embarrassing or anything. Like it's just part of life. Like it's just how it is sometimes. And like brains are just like that, I guess. I feel like I've just been able to develop more patience towards myself as well. It's just hard because I wish other people saw it that way too. Like I want more people to see mental health as like just a normal health issue. It is just a normal health issue. And the things that happen in your brain sometimes, I had so many different confusing, weird symptoms and like all these different things that were like, I think there's so much stigma, and I felt so ashamed because they didn't feel like me. Like I had so many like weird things happen in my head that I felt embarrassed, because you can see I'm like a smart person. I would say I'm overall very grounded and rational person. A lot of people come to me for advice on a lot of things. I would say like I have like a pretty like, I would say I'm a pretty grounded person overall. And sometimes my brain just does funky stuff, and it's like, ugh, where did that come from? Like, why? Yeah, like again, it's just like a health issue, and it can be a bit painful. Like, it can be exhausting. It can be debilitating. I've been really tired recently because I feel like well, it actually all comes down to this stupid project that I just want to finish so that I can be like, this is exactly why. But it comes down to some of the things that I'm basically actually writing about in my project or like exploring. But I think my stress levels are usually like high for nothing, for no reason, just I mean, obviously for reason, but for no perceivable reason, just extremely higher than they should be. Oh man, I feel like my brain is just it runs all the time. It's like it's always running, you know? It's like a really tired computer that's just running all the time. So we have Jupiter. Let's see, is that how we let's put this off on the side. I actually also hope that the work that I'm doing right now, granted, like if it actually goes right, like I was thinking that it could probably also really benefit schizophrenia in other ways. I think it will. Obviously, I've been really focused on recovered memories, but I just think doing more work on the concept of arousal, on acetylcholine and stuff. I don't know. I was just really putting together a lot of dots this morning watching the movie and just doing some reflecting. Okay, now I have to restart Jupiter. Okay, here's Jupiter. I think like the one thing I was thinking about Beautiful Mind, and again, it was a great movie so far. Like I'm enjoying it, but I wish people wouldn't dramatize mental illness so much. I think like they dramatize it a little bit. Is that the word? Dramatized it, like for the sake of the movie, and I think it kind of played into some ideas that people have about how schizophrenia works. Like the fact that it was like, and the roommate was fake, and I was like, no, like does it even work like? I don't think that it is to that degree. I mean, maybe, but I was like, that seems like not accurate. And when I actually looked it up, all that it was stuff that's minor and not minor. It was obviously still big stuff, but it was like he thought people were sending him messages through his notebooks and stuff. Again, once you really get into like learning about this stuff, it's like I'm like that's not really that like I mean it's still a big thing, but I was like that's not the way they were presenting it in the movie. He was like going on car chases and like all this stuff. I'm sure it felt like that to him, which is maybe what they were trying to like represent. But I was like, come on, there were like multiple characters that they're like they didn't exist the whole time. I was like, I think that's a little bit far for how that disorder works and just made it seem really scary. I think that people see mental illness as really dramatic and it definitely can be. Like obviously my head gets intense sometimes myself for my own stuff, but I don't know. Like it's not like that. I don't know. It's just a little bit more chill and also like a little bit more vulnerable than I think that they show. Like it's a very vulnerable thing as well. And it's just like that's the thing is that it's not like for example, okay, I actually need to watch some of these movies that people have about dissociative identity disorder just for my own like literally out of intellectual curiosity. And like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, I've never seen that, but I know that's one of the big that was obviously way long ago. Okay, way long ago. That was one of the movies about dissociative identity disorder. Okay, obviously that one's really old right now, but I'm like, I think people still kind of see it like that. Where it's like once you actually are reading about how it works, like it's really not like that at all. Like it's not like, oh my God, like they have these like all these different personalities. I think it's like it's a little bit more internal actually than you would think from like the reading I've done. Like there's a lot that is just going on the inside. And obviously I don't wouldn't say that anything that I'd experienced through my dissociation sort of issues like it never got to the same degree that I would definitely don't think that I had to say like anything close to that. I did have some other like I had plenty of like bizarre things that I experienced, like just like these intense like stories and things and like this intense internal world that I had. But except for some little things, like it even though I was struggling a lot, and there was a lot of intense stuff going on the inside like it didn't really reflect that much on the outside as you would think as intense as it was as intensely as I was suffering and I was suffering intensely. I was really confused, I was really scared. Like I knew that like I was I don't know, like it was okay, it was a very complicated experience, but like I feel like it didn't really reflect on the outside as much as you would think, to the point where I still had like a normal social life and stuff. I still had like normal friendships, you know. I think I definitely had some little moments of tension here and there, like certain situations because of my mental health symptoms, but it really didn't show up even though it was so much on the inside. Like there was a lot happening on the inside, but it didn't really show up the way that you would think it would. And that's the thing. And granted, in the movie obviously it took them years to see that he was struggling the way that he was. I did kind of relate when they opened his office in one scene and like he had never let anybody in his office. All of a sudden they opened the office and it was packed with like all these papers and stuff like that. I think that most people like mental illness is so hard, and I think it's such a isolating experience and it's so internal. And I think a lot of people with mental health issues also don't, it's very vulnerable. Like you don't want people to see that stuff. Like I don't know. It's a lot of just a lot of suffering on the inside. I think sometimes it can take, like in the movie, they didn't really notice it for like quite a long time. So I don't know when people have like these like for example, one movie I'm thinking of, all the movies I can think of is dissociative identity disorder. There's one I need to watch that I think I might have watched and I'm not thinking of right away in my head. But a lot of the movies that you see with dissociative identity disorder are so dramatized. Like one that I remember seeing in theaters, a lot of horror movies. People make it exactly like, I think that's the kind of stuff that stigmatizes it. Split was the one I was thinking of, this one. Basically, this guy ends up having these multiple personalities, and it's like a horror movie, and he has 23 personalities. Oh yeah, and he's showing his psychiatrist, and they're all basically there to like dominate the other. We shouldn't really make horror movies about mental illnesses, I think, to be honest. I know it can be scary, but I don't think that we should make horror movies about mental illnesses like this, personally, because it's just so stigmatizing and it's just not accurate to how this stuff works, personally, I think. And the experience of dissociative identity disorder, from everything that I've read, it's so subtle. It's not something, actually, it takes a long time for people to get a diagnosis because they don't really want to say what's happening inside because they know that it's not quite right, or something is wrong, or it doesn't usually. The thing is that people think that it's all right away, like you're like, hi, I'm Bob, hi, I'm Steve. Like no, a lot of times people are just having these really fragmented experiences of amnesias. And actually a lot of the times people will start developing the like naming the personalities, making like sort of delineating the personalities when they're in therapy, as a way of helping them to sort out what's going on the inside, and which traumas are attached to which trauma, like which traumas are attached to which sort of quote unquote personality or piece of yourself. It's not like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde thing. That's the thing that I don't, that like is the thing. Like it's actually, dissociative identity disorder is a super duper like subtle, like it's not subtle, but it's like it's very, I don't know, nuanced. I can't think of the word off the top of my head, but there's a lot going on inside. It doesn't always reflect the way itself outside the way that you would think that it would, is what I'm trying to say. And I think that's the case with a lot of mental health disorders. A lot of it is just really internal. Like a lot of it is just really intense internal experience that you're having that takes you a very long time to come to terms with, a very long time to bring to therapy, and it's a lot of suffering on the inside. Why is there so many issues? This one is like harder to use than the other one. Windows trying to use a NumPy product, but in your installed NumPy version, that symbol either doesn't exist or Ningo's code is incompatible with this NumPy version. Yeah, I don't know. I think when people watch a movie about mental health, though, I think they want to see like this really big, this really like scary drama, because I think a lot of people still see mental health that way. And it's like, it's not that. It's really not that. When you have any kind of like, again, I had a lot of really intense, I had a really intense time for like quite a while. It was really intense in my head, and I didn't really tell anybody much of what was happening. I hid a lot from my own therapist. Like I didn't want to say the full extent of what was going on because I was aware that it wasn't quite right. Like I was like, this isn't right, and I didn't wasn't really ready to let it go. I didn't want people to see me as crazy. I didn't want to be like, I didn't want to come to terms with that. Like I was like, I'll figure it out myself, because I was like, I don't want people to see me that way, because I didn't want to see me that way, because my person, that's not my personality, right? And your mental health isn't a personality. Your mental health is a health issue at the end of the day. And like I didn't want people to, also I think for me it was so traumatic to have people discrediting my story and like discrediting like what I was experiencing and what I was dealing with, that like I wasn't ready to have another thing for people to use to discredit me or to see me as somebody not worthy of listening to, which is wrong. That's not a right, that's not right that we meet it that way. It's so hard to talk about your mental health symptoms, and it's not really that glamorous. It's not glamorous, or obviously it's not glamorous. It's not, but it's not a horror movie either. Like that's the thing I'm trying to say. It's not like a horror movie. It's just like, it's just painful. Like it's just painful like any other disease. That's like if we started to make a horror, I mean, I guess there are horror movies about certain illnesses, but I don't know. I feel like if we made like a horror movie about like cancer, people would be like, that wouldn't really sit right with people. You know what I mean? They'd be like, that's the little bit like in bad taste. or like a horror movie about like I don't know diabetes. I don't know. Like it's like a you can do it. It's not necessarily like oh it's like, but I think people are just gonna be a little bit like like that's just a little bit in bad taste. But I think people see mentally ill people as like sort of horror movie characters, and it's like that's not how it actually is. And that's why people, for example, that's why people get left out on the streets and stuff because nobody wants to, everybody's scared of it. Now we're hitting the classic dependency hell. What is dependency hell? Nengo Loihi wants numpy 1.21. That sounds like something from Harry Potter. But your other packages require smaller than 1.23. This is so irritating. I thought this was going to be like a fast and easy thing. I just want to get it up and like try one thing on it, like one simple thing. Okay, here we go. Let's try this again. How do I even, is this working? This is the thing. It's like, is it happening? Am I waiting for something? Did it work this time? Or what's going on? Like, it's just a bit hard to say, like to tell. Okay, I think that made it happen. Like, I think this means that it's working. Okay, this is just like one neuron firing. This was the example one they gave me last time that I wasn't able to get to run because I was having some kind of issue where the play button didn't come up. And there's issues again. We're going to keep going until this works because I've been really nervous because I wasn't able to make it work on my old computer, even though like everything seemed fine. So I just want to end this day being like, okay, it's ready for me when it's like time. This part makes me really nervous. This whole neural network part makes me nervous. Like, I feel like I'm gonna flop this part somehow. Somehow I think it'll be a little bit more intuitive once I'm actually running my own project because I know what I'm looking for and I know what each part means and like what it's doing. Obviously I know what this means, but it's like I don't have a good sense of like I don't know, I'm not looking for anything. So it doesn't, you know what I mean? It doesn't mean anything to me yet. But I actually think that once I run my actual experiment and I know what I'm looking for and I know why I'm doing what I'm doing, like I think it's gonna make better sense. Again? Guys, pray for me. Why is nothing probable? Like everything is messed up. I don't know though. I feel like, oh my gosh, is it working? Is it gonna do it? Simulation finished. This is so cool. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is the first time I've been able to get a simulation to actually run because the last time it was like having all these issues, so I wasn't able to do it. Oh my gosh, it made me this little like chart. This is so cool. Just out of curiosity, because my neural network is not done at all. I want to see like I just want to see what happens when I run what it's going to give me right now. It is not done. I need to put a lot of stuff in it. But I'm just curious to see like what happens right now. This is the coolest thing I've ever done, literally. Every single little section feels like just so magical and interesting. Oh yeah, I don't think I said that. Do we go ahead and do it based off what I have? This is interesting just to say I did like a little part, you know? Wait, wait, this is kind of real right now. Like this is actually kind of happening right now. Ratios. Okay. It's definitely going to be so like messed up if that makes sense. Like it's not going to be like a very good version of what I'm doing. Okay, this obviously isn't the full thing. This is just like a minor thing. This is good because it's showing me that I'm still missing stuff, but let's just see it. Let's see. It's probably going to give me some kind of error message. But this is, what is it again? It's just a small scale hippocampal like network with CA3 and CA1 populations, including excitatory neurons, PV plus inhibitory neurons. That's it. And then there's going to be some kind of input currents. I don't know what that even is. Ah! Okay, let's try that again. Okay, it's building it. This is insane. What is this going to look like even? Wow, it's going to look like an error message. That's beautiful. Thank you. When I first run it, it's probably going to be so many error messages. So to fix, where is it? Part this is convert neuron output spike times. Okay, let's try that again. Delete the cell. Ah! What? This is crazy. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I don't know what any of this means. However, I was looking at all the papers. I was like, they have these nice, beautiful little graphy chart things. And I don't know how to make those. This is them! Yay! We're gonna have them too. It's gonna look so legit and polished and official. Yay! My gosh. This is real. Again, I don't really know what any of this means, but it's something that I did, I guess. That's gonna take learning. Coded output. I guess it's just okay, yes I do. It's just the activity, I guess, that was going on in the CA3 to CA1. This is what the neurons were doing in the CA1, and this is what the neurons were doing in the CA3. The reason I don't really have much to decode about it is because there's nothing happening. It's not doing anything with the memory. It's not doing anything. It's just a neuron firing. That's it. And obviously the CA3 was like a bit what higher, had more activity going on. So as it's not, I think again, I think it's gonna be more intuitive when I'm looking at like my actual project because I know what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for any of this. Like, I mean, this is useful, obviously, but I'm also looking to see I am looking to see this stuff about acetylcholine and how it's gonna interact with this. But I'm also looking to see I'm looking to see what it's recalling. So it's gonna be a little bit different. Oh my God, this is real. This is crazy. This is crazy. I did this. I did this myself. Meanwhile, ChatGPT did everything really for me. I mean, this time around, obviously, when it comes to writing my actual, doing my actual paper, it's gonna be like me and my idea. But oh my God, this is crazy. Look at this. This is so sciencey and mathy. This is cool, guys. Oh my gosh. Okay, well now that means it's ready for me. Like when I'm ready, it's ready, and I can model stuff. The code is not so big here, but I guess it probably will be very big when it actually comes time to do my own because I mean maybe it won't be as intense as I think, but I think it will be because I have to put in nodes and all this stuff. I think that the way that I'm gonna write my memory, I was reflecting because I'm gonna probe a node, probe different nodes to see what they recall about, for example, those locations. So the memories are going to be something like this. The memories are going to be there's going to be a pool, maybe because no, it's tail shock. So I don't know where the tail shock is happening. We're just going to say table. There's going to be one that's just their cage, probably, which will probably be very neutral arousal. Because it'll be something like this, the rats are in the cage, right? They get picked up. Which is probably a little bit that probably causes some stress, just being handled. Maybe they get tail shocks and then they get walked back and then they get put back in their cage. Something like that. So obviously for some of them, let's say the nodes, they're gonna be cage. Maybe it can be cage, handler. I'm just making it up. It's gonna be different by then, but handler. I don't know. No, we're not going to make it even a person because I don't know if they'd be able to. For them, a handler. I don't know if that's a location, or if I probably need to navigate that with more precision. But it's going to be something like that. And then the tail shocks. I don't know where that would happen. The table. I need to see how people actually run this experiment. What does that look like? But then I'm going to basically be tell me about the table. And some of them are getting crazy intense, intense, prolonged tail shocks. Okay. It's a little bit complicated because it's well, is there much to learn about that? What could be fragmented? Maybe they need to navigate some kind of maze. I don't know. I need to think about that, but it's going to be something like that. And then I'm going to probe the node of table and see what they recall about the table. I need to figure out how to do that in a way that's going to bring up any kind of useful information because if they were just there, what did they learn? I don't know. We need to put some thinking into that part, but it is going to be something like that.
Okay, for some reason, Teams decided to delete all of my audio for this one, but basically, I was saying that I woke up and I was in such a bad mood. I was literally so burnt out and exhausted. And I just thought, let me just do this one little thing, which was start to transfer some of my notes from my literature review, notes pile, into some study guide sort of paragraphy things for each of the topics that I am learning. And my mood got so good because I looked at it and I was like, oh, this is me starting to write my actual paper, actually. This is me starting to write my intro and make the roughest of drafts and start to put ideas together. And I just got in a good mood, okay, this is actually happening. I'm actually writing this now. And I was so upset in the morning, this is not happening. What am I talking about? It's just too complicated for me. And then I started putting everything together and I was like, I'm writing it right now.
The way my mood shifted so fast. Oh my gosh. I was literally this morning, I was like, Why do I have to do this? What is wrong with me? I'm crazy. This isn't gonna happen. It's gonna take like forever. Like, there's just no way. And then I literally just put some notes into a thing. And I was like, I'm writing it, I'm doing it, I've been dancing around. I was like, yes, thank you, God. Thank you for giving me such an amazing thing to do. Like, the mood switched so quick. I was so like, I was literally laying on my bed this morning. I was like, not even in bed. I was on the couch. I was like, I don't have energy to do anything. I'm burnt out. This sucks. I don't, I hate this. Sometimes all you got to do is just keep working, you know? It's like, it really wasn't that serious. Don't laugh. I'm doing the most woo woo self care imaginable because nothing else is helping. Nothing else is helping. I've just been so anxious today. I am so frustrated by the state of the world right now. Everybody receive this energy that I'm like forcing everybody to engage in through this video. But I was like, I don't know what else to do right now because I'm so anxious and it sucks. I feel like it's like a double whammy. Like being somebody who cares so much about the world is so tiring. It's so tiring. Like it's so tiring not to be a coaster. You know, somebody who just coasts along and doesn't really do anything at all, like just sort of like ignores the issues of the world. It's like it's beautiful too because I feel like I love people so much. I feel like I care so much about the state of the world. I care so much about people and I care so much about justice and all these things. And it's so tiring sometimes and draining that it's like it's this is one of those anxieties where it's like what are you supposed to do with it? What do you do? Because it's not gonna go away, okay? Like it doesn't just like the state of the world doesn't just go away. Like I can't like fix it right now. And it's so hard to be like, oh well, you know, you can't control it, like don't do anything about it. Like it doesn't help my anxiety much because I know that so many people are being impacted by what's happening in the world and like all the different like I was just talking to my friend. I was like, we this is like the worst time to be a young person. Like we got it so hard. The world is burning. Like we're living in a dictatorship right now. Like what? And then because of that dictatorship, they're like actively making the world burn faster. What do you do with that? What do you even do with that? What are we supposed to do? And then we have these little like mega billionaires. These just, they are the ones who are making me so angry because they're so stupid and selfish. They're so selfish and embarrassing. And it's like I hate you. I hate you. Go away. Like you are actively causing such stress and anxiety to everybody in the world. Like, oh my God. It just I was having such horrible anxiety today. Horrible, horrible. And I feel like I'm doing everything I can and it's like it doesn't feel like enough yet. It doesn't just want it to change. It's so bad. And I just get mad. It's like the anger that you feel at the coasters too, like the people who are just coasting along and doing nothing. And it's like you were putting in like maximum effort in every possible way that you can. And some people are just sitting around being like, well, that's life. It's like, no, stop putting the work on everybody else and like get up and do something. Let's see our gluten-free mug cake recipe. Yeah, I don't know. It's like it's so hard. It just sucks to be like I wish I was someone who could just like not care and not pay attention. Like I wish more than anything. Like they're living great lives. People like that live great lives, not paying attention at all. And it just like why? Why did God give me this personality of like actually caring? It's like it's just the worst. I don't even know what to do with it. It's a gift, but it's also like a curse at the same time. That's the thing, is that for people my age, it's so dire for us. It's so important. Like I can't live in a burning world, you know? It's like I can't. And it's like it's not, yeah, for people like Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, all those absolute idiotic buffoons that don't do anything but hurt the rest of us because they're so selfish. So selfish. It's like, yeah, of course they don't care. How old are they? They're like 100 years old. They're like what, 50? Are they like 50, something like that? It's like, yeah, they'll live 30 more years. The world will burn. They'll create some little eco castle village for themselves to live in with all the other billionaires, or they'll do what Elon Musk is trying to do, go off to Mars. I wish he would, man. I wish he would go to Mars and never come back. But anyways, and it's like, yeah, they'll be great and they'll have a great time while the rest of us suffer. And it's just like, oh, but you guys suck. We have to live through this mess that you're not like I'm gonna still be alive when they're dead. Like that'll be the best time of my life actually. I can't wait. It just sucks so bad. It's like how selfish can you be? But putting in our vanilla. I don't even know. It's like sometimes it just feels not worth even speaking about because it's like what can be done? We're so unlucky though, dude. I feel like us, people our age, got the worst timeline. We had COVID, we had dictatorship, we had global warming, we had everything. It's like, why? And it's like, people don't understand. Like, older people, I mean, obviously, a lot of them are living through this too, but it's like, the, the, the pain of feeling like everything is being constantly taken away from you. It's like, how much more time do we have before everything is just a horrible mess that is just like not you can't even interact with at all. Like it's just so bad. Also, just like this grief because it's so sad. Like I feel robbed and cheated of just like I mean, obviously the U.S. has always been like doing harm, but just the feeling of like okay, like I feel like we were robbed like of the feeling of like a respectable government to a certain degree. Like you know what I mean? Like, okay, I can respect my leaders and I feel like we can follow them and etc. And it's like we didn't even get that at all. We have never got. I mean, Obama wasn't perfect, but at least he didn't he wasn't insane and he did something of use for the country. And it's like, what is happening? It's so bad, dude. We're a country run by idiots and grifters called Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and all these stupids. I've literally been thinking about so much about how it's such a lie that they're smart. They're not smart. Smart people don't do this. People who know how to cheat and scam do this. That's what it is. They found one thing they were kind of smart at and they rode that high forever. Like, oh, we're so smart. Like we're little intellectuals. You're not, bro. You're weird. You found one thing you can do. That's why I don't. Every time I go on Instagram or I don't go on Instagram or Facebook anymore. The only thing I use that's for is sometimes I go on Facebook Marketplace. But I don't even use Instagram anymore. I haven't for forever because every time I go on it, not only do I see Mark Zuckerberg's face, who I hate, but also I remember that he started Instagram to rate women and like because I guess he was like too much of a little B word to like I don't know take some kind of rejection and like that is literally the root of Instagram and like ugh, like you know what I mean it's like you can't unsee that I think and like as a survivor like I'm like yeah I can't I'm not going to go on that that's like you know what I mean it's like if that's a seed if the seed of something was corrupted then like the tree is corrupted you know what I mean like if you planted something with a bad seed the tree is going to be bad I don't remember where I saw that the other day it was some kind of quote or something that somebody sent me, but it's like I feel like it's a bad tree because it was planted with a bad seed. So I'm not interested in engaging. But I don't think I don't know if I'll ever use Instagram again. But yeah, all those bad seeds. You know, we need to plant some new seeds. Did that make me feel better? I think so. I think it might have a little bit. But it really doesn't. I just wish they would go away. I don't even want to complain about them anymore. I just want them to be gone and I hope to never see them again. Okay. 2 tablespoons of granulated white sugar. Oh, the anger is coming back again. No. Let's go back to our Reiki video. Okay. This is the best you can do. You know, to a certain degree. I've drank in so much chamomile tea the last few days. So much chamomile tea. That hasn't done anything for me. What else does it need? Sugar, cocoa powder, baking soda, salt. I think there's something missing here. The nice thing is like I literally don't have to engage with like anything that they make. That's the nice thing. It's like I mean, obviously their actions will still continue to impact me, but it's like, yeah, I literally don't have to use Instagram again and I won't. Like ever. And what's the other thing? Jeff Bezos, I don't ever have to use Amazon again. I might just not. Yeah, let's not do it. I'm never going to use Amazon again. It's honestly gotten easier and easier for me to cut those things out, like the more angry I get. Like I said, Instagram is so addicting. I haven't used Instagram for like 6 months, literally. I at one point, I just got angry that they like that. I don't know. I just had this realization. I was like, oh, they suck bad. And I was just like, oh, okay. And it literally like from that moment on, I never use Instagram again. TikTok, the minute they put that message out about Trump, I haven't used TikTok literally one time since that day. I stopped because I just like, oh, I literally don't have to engage with them. I hate them so bad. It's like, okay, bye. Okay, so at least on that end, can control everybody what everybody else does, but at least I don't have to do it. And I think that's just today was like my last day. Like I don't have to ever order anything on Amazon ever again, and I won't. Like I can just go to the store. It's never that serious. Honestly, I don't really use it anyways. Like I haven't used it really that much since I moved to the UK. I think I've only used it one time, but even so, it's like it just I don't have to use it. I don't know. Sometimes people try to make you feel like dumb for like having some kind of political opinion that's like a little like I don't know. People try to like guilt you for having your own morals. I think they just feel like a little bit stupid because they don't have their own or something, or I don't know. And it's like, oh, like oh, it's so extreme, or like I don't know, liberals are so extreme. It's like I don't actually have to do anything I don't want to do. I don't have to like them. I don't have to engage with their stuff. That's my choice. That's the crazy part. Like I literally don't have to like them or enjoy their company. I don't have to see them as smart. I don't have to do anything like it. It's literally like I don't know. I feel like I've just been expanding my own sense of free will and like freedom on the inside. I know that sounds dumb, but I don't know. The more I go along, I'm just like, oh, I don't have to. I don't have to like literally engage with them at all, and I don't have to support them. I don't have to like them. Nobody's making me. I don't know. And like yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's also my level of discipline has been increasing as I've like put more practice into like this and into like my spiritual practice and into like my own moral framework. I don't know, like as I've gotten older too, where things in the past where it's like, well, that seems so hard. Like I'm never gonna get off Instagram or something. It's like it's too addictive. It's like I just did. Like I just was like, oh, I'm not gonna do that again because I hate them. And then I was just like, oh, I'm never gonna do that. Like I stopped. Like I literally just stopped that day, never went back on Instagram. I think we feel this subconscious pressure to like comply with like the fact that it's just like this permanent part of your life. Like you have to do it. Like it's something that everybody has to engage in. It's not gonna go away. And it's like, well, it can go away for me. Like, okay, I don't have to do it. Like, you know what I mean? It's like everyone's on social media now. You're missing out. Like, or you have to do your advertising there. Or it's like as a company you have to or something. And it's like I just won't. I just don't want to. Like, why do I have to do something just because everybody else is doing it? And it's just like it's all this little trick. I think like it's all this trick to make like I think it's like part of the package deal that these companies have where they treat it like, oh, we're so big, like, it's like this like almost like it's like this inescapable part of like our modern day lives. Like you have to do it. It's just part of what it means to be like part of the world right now. And it's like I literally don't have to do anything that I don't want to do, literally. And I can just live my life however I want. It's my choice. When I get older, I'm telling you with 100% certainty, because as you can see, I'm someone who sticks to what I say I'm going to do like so easily. That's been my biggest gift from all of this. And it's like, I feel like I've just learned to stick to my values and stick to the stuff that I care about. And it's like, oh, nobody's making me do anything else. And also, the only to me, like as a spiritual person, I'm like, the only thing I'm following is like spirit or the universe. Like, I don't have to actually follow anything that like business owners tell me. Like, who cares? They're not God. So I'm not going to listen to them. And it's like, you know what I mean? Or it's like, when I get older, I really want to have like a really sustainable lifestyle, really sustainable house with like, I don't know, I don't want to be like completely off grid per se, but I definitely want to have like big garden, solar panels. Like I want my house to be completely powered, like solar powered and everything. And I just hope to like I really want to have a close knit community. I want to go to like farmers markets and shop locally. I don't know. I don't want to be feel like I you have to engage with like these really unsustainable things or like you have to do it this way because that's what makes money. I don't care. I just won't do it. Nobody can make me do anything that I don't want to do. That's such freedom. You know what I mean? It's like once you escape the matrix or whatever, I know it's like so silly. Like I don't actually see it in those wordings. Like that's just to be silly, but like once you escape that sort of like societal matrix of like you have to do all these things that everybody else is telling you to do, and that's just part of what it is to live in the world right now. It's like I literally don't. I can just do whatever I want. Even for example, this project, I was like, you have to wait until you're like in school. I don't. I can just do research right now. That's the thing is like I started to notice like there's so many things that we think like we have to do and it's like we don't, and it's like I don't know how to put it, but it's like I can literally just do whatever I want and like there's nobody stopping me. Like there's nobody stopping me from literally just doing stuff on my own, like, or for example, I'd come home and be like, "Oh, like, don't spend time on that." Like, I don't know how to put it, but I'd be like, or like, "Don't spend. Why are you spending hours on cooking? You can cook a meal in like 10 minutes." And it's like, but why would I do that? Just so I can have more time to scroll on my phone? Like, I'm gonna take my time and do the stuff I enjoy, and not feel like this pressure to be constantly doing the things that everybody else is doing or everybody else tells me I have to do. Like, I can just do whatever I want and have whatever opinion I want, you know? So I don't know. I know that's a bit random, but um yeah, I just feel like the older I get, the more I'm like, oh, just because everybody else is using Instagram doesn't mean that I have to. It's not like a requirement, you know what I mean? It's not yet written into any kind of bill. Like, I don't, it's not a law. I don't have to do these things. I don't have to comply to the things that everybody else is doing just because they're doing it. And I think that I just finally I was like, oh my god, like, I don't have to. For example, I had this feeling like, oh, if I get off Instagram, I won't see people like as much. And it's like, I can just see people in real life. I don't have to. That's not my real community, you know? Stuff like that. I don't know. Such a big part of like the lie of addiction, because obviously social media is an addiction. um is so much of the addiction, of the lie of the addiction, is that addiction will lie to you and tell you that like you have to do it no matter what, you know what I mean? It's like, or also that you're gonna fail, like, you know what I mean? Oh, I'm gonna it of course I'm gonna fail, of course I'm gonna have to do it again, like, of course I'm gonna have to use it, and like all this stuff. And it's like, that's your addiction brain speaking. It's like, it's not true. And it wasn't true. Like I said, I literally just got off and I was like, done. Haven't used Instagram in like 6 months. Never. I never feel the urge for it. Literally never. Like, the minute I was like, oh, Mark Zuckerberg is evil and this was literally all started because he wanted to rate women because he felt insecure about himself, I was like, oh, I'm off. And I was off. I haven't been back. I haven't felt any urge to go back. Like, I have felt zero addiction towards Instagram at all. Haven't missed DMing people. Haven't seen, like, missed seeing people on Instagram. Haven't missed posting. Even I was just like, I'm done. I'm good. Bye. Okay, this one was a little too powerful. As you can see, I started crying out of the blue. But anyways, here is my mug cake that looks completely disgusting and nuked and everything, but it is still edible and it's chocolate, and I'm a bit hormonal today.